Hi guys, it's Debbie, and today I would like to speak about The Bad Batch, directed by Annalili Amirpour and starring Jason Momoa, Suki, Waterhouse, Jim Carrey and Keanu Reeves. The Bad Batch follows the story of Arlen, a young woman which enters a nightmarish dystopian wasteland, a stretch of desert just beyond the United States Authority. She soon encounters different communities living isolated from the rest of the world, following their own rules. For example, she is captured by a group of cannibals which cut her limbs to feed off her flesh. Then she reaches another town called Comfort, which is more similar to our idea of society. Both groups, and I imagine many others in this desert, live in makeshift accommodations made out of aircraft wrecks or old caravans and travel on outdated buggies or scooters. The inhabitants of these desert communities carry out their daily activities as if they were normal common duties, for example working out or selling their food. But they do them, for example, right next to chained captive people which will be used as future food. In general, all the inhabitants of these towns have something in their past which has led them to where they are now. Stranded in a desert, forgotten by the world, living in an alien community, scavenging for food during the day and taking drugs and partying under neon lights all night long. As a matter of fact, the title of the film, The Bad Batch, refers to anybody which is in one way or another considered not suitable for society how we know it, or to anybody which chooses not to follow society standards, which could be the case of our main protagonist Arlen. The film follows Arlen's travel through these communities and the encounters she has with the strange individuals that inhabit them. For example, a huge colossal cannibal tribe leader portrayed by Jason Momoa, or a grimy and silent scavenger portrayed by Jim Carrey. She also meets Mr. Dream, the wealthy leader of one of these communities. Dream lives in a mansion surrounded by beautiful pregnant women and spends his time partying and dealing drugs. Dream actually represents a very interesting character in this film because his figure introduces a very important topic. All the Bad Batchers decide to refuse society standards. They live like animals, but still they decide to follow an individual, treat him as if he were a god, proving that humanity will always be willing to blindly follow an individual or an ideal. Just think of how many times we're disgusted by certain futile aspects of society, of how we repeatedly try to give up our time and soul-consuming vices, but then we also worship them by subconsciously adapting to our surroundings. So although in general I didn't particularly enjoy The Bad Batch, I still felt it left the audience some food for thought. As a matter of fact, it actually covered some very interesting themes. For example, how would humanity survive and thrive without any laws or any standards? Also, would a person consciously and happily choose this life? Would it be a prison or a free state of mind? But as I said, I didn't particularly enjoy it for many reasons, the first of which is the lack of a structured plot. The themes were very interesting and the characters had a lot of potential, but everything was rather confusing, reaching the point of being nearly illogical in certain scenes. The whole film was visually wonderful. It had a rare and hard to reach beauty in nearly every scene, but I would have preferred if all of this had been matched to a more structured plot and a deeper character analysis. In my personal opinion, in this sense, The Bad Batch presents some similarities with other works, for example Song to Song, a visionary work by director Terrence Malick, or The Neon Demon by Nicholas Winding Refn. Films which completely lost themselves in their visual beauty, tiring the audience with dazzling shots but an empty plot. The Bad Batch had the potential, it had everything, but it just never reached it. It always felt as if it was about to take off, but it didn't. For the first half of the film, we hardly heard the characters utter one single line, and everything was focused on ambiguously introducing this hellish wasteland. And I appreciated this fact because our imagination was set free. We were completely wordless in seeing humans capturing and eating other humans, skating around in this desert, raving until dawn with no clear explanation. Dialogues and language in general was not necessary in this wasteland. The only noises we heard were grunts, screams, the noises of the desert. But when we started to move into the second half of the film and we still didn't have a structured plot, we didn't have a clear storyline, the film just let me down and it lost itself in its visual beauty and abandoned the by then pointless plot. Let me know what you thought about The Bad Batch with a comment here below, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for many more movie related videos. See you soon. Bye.